0, 1.
Let's get started.
All right, welcome to episode 7 of Unforced Errors. Today we have our second guest. It's a long-awaited guest. It is the IPTPA Level 2 pickleball instructor, the guy that has to tolerate us and try so hard to not scream at us because we stink. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Ferger.
Thank you, guys. Thank you
What
for
is up,
having me.
Keith?
Yeah,
We are
man.
happy to have you here.
Keith,
Excited.
it's so long overdue.
Excited.
I mean, people know who you are
That's
now
right.
just from the lessons.
Can't wait to talk junk.
Well, I mean, we don't have you here otherwise to talk junk, so that's perfect. All right, so I think we'll just keep this pretty easy. It's going to be very conversational, and we'll just we've got a bunch of bullet points that we need to hit on. But if there's something we want to just sit here and talk about, then good with it.
Yeah, I'm here for a good time.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. All right. Well, I guess, Keith, where we should start is probably you tell us about you, where you're from, what sports you played prior to pickleball.
Sounds good. Man, I've been born in Ohio, raised in California, North Carolina, grown, and now Charleston for about five years now. So,
Oh, nice.
but grew up. I'm not like a lot of these other guys, these pros that come from a tennis background. So, like, I think it kind of benefits me in a way versus other people. But played, football, baseball, basketball, soccer growing up.
Oh, nice.
Picked up golf when I was 18. Played a lot of ping pong growing up as a kid. So that's probably like my only true racket paddle sport
Okay.
compared, growing up. Played, racquetball, tennis like once every couple years just to get out there and hit a ball. But that's about it really as far as.
Nice. So 2 Ohio guys in here.
That's right.
I mean, hey, do they make it any better?
No.
I don't know if
man.
I like it.
Most people around here don't.
No,
But, they got to live with us.
We're smart because we got out of Ohio. Like we're thankful
don't
to
see it
be
that way
there.
here
We're
in
thankful to be like born there or from there, but like we're smart enough to know to get away from there.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
So-
It's good to go back, but I'm out on living.
Yeah, I don't even know if I like going back unless it's for like to see family or like
family and
to go to a
friends.
sporting event. That's
Yeah,
about
for
it.
sure.
Go to a Buckeye game or
Charleston is lacking the pro sports scene here.
Yeah.
You do get the women's tennis, but you have a bunch of minor league stuff, baseball, and you've got hockey and soccer and all of that. But the pro sports, it's
I think
too small
with
to
Charleston, really, I like the minor league sports.
Mhm.
I really do. Like, and the good thing is we have like soccer, baseball,
Hockey, yeah.
I think that's it, right?
And the
Those are
hockey
the minor
team's
league.
good.
And the hockey team's good. Soccer team is usually pretty
Yeah.
good. Baseball team is kind of hit
It's
or
still
miss,
fun.
but it's still fun. But like, I think Charleston misses the college, the true college. I mean, you have colleges here, but they're like
Not
COC.
big, yeah.
They're like small Citadel.
Yeah.
They're not like huge.
None of the big D ones.
They're not like I'm a Buckeye and a Tar Heel fan, so like those are like colleges,
Yeah.
right? Like North Carolina, you have all of the ACC schools. Like you got a
Yeah.
lot. South Carolina, you got Clemson in South Carolina, but
Yeah.
they're more
It's not right here. in
not
Charleston.
here. Yeah. So, but I love the minor league sports.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I love going to Stingrays games, River Dogs games.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so I think we'll just kind of bounce around on these.
Well, I did want to know, like, so you played a lot of sports growing up then.
A lot of sports.
So then you're kind of just probably naturally athletic.
And
stuff like
and I tell you what, you guys know that I've given you guys lessons. Like, I think that benefits me to my style of play too, because like I try to take a little bit of every sport
Mhm.
into pickleball.
Yeah.
And that's the way I coach too. I'm trying to like, because not everybody comes from it. Like neither one of you came from a true tennis background, right?
No,
Or
not at
nothing.
all.
Like you hit with your wife.
We
or
both have played, but to
You've
know
played.
actual like competitive level,
No.
Play as a stretch.
play. You've hit a tennis ball.
100%.
That's like people saying I've hit a golf ball. They played golf, but they're
Yeah.
not like players. So
Yeah.
like if you can take parts of other sports, that's why like at the pro level now, it's not just tennis players that are at the pro level. There's hockey players,
Mhm.
pro hockey players. There's high level D1 like soccer players and basketball players and baseball players. I mean, like Hayden Petrican, he's a baseball player. Dylan, Frazier, they weren't tennis guys. So I think that's a good thing for my type of game too. Is the way I coach too. Is I try to take different things from all the sports I played.
Yeah.
And so when I coach, it's the same way because I coached high school football for 3.5, 4 years out in California, and I trained kids with like basketball and soccer and stuff. And it's just like you got to be able to take a little bit of.
So you had prior coaching experience before kind of getting into pickleball.
Yeah, and that's why I got into actually coaching pickleball.
Okay.
Is because that's more of a passion for me than. I mean, I love to play. I love to compete. But I think I love like my biggest thing is like to take you clowns and like get you to a point where you're competing, whether it's a 4-0 or 4, whatever your goal is, right? It's a lot of work, but like if that's your goal to get to, I feel better, I'm more accomplished by taking players and getting them from a 2-5 to a 3-5 to a 4-5. I mean, I teach players now that play pro level, so it's like that's more of an accomplishment for me than.
Seeing the progress is super rewarding.
Especially I'm getting older, so like I'm not doing that competing side no more. So it's like maybe when I'm getting to the senior pros, it might be a little different story. But
go clean up.
Yeah, go clean it. But like that's a couple years from now. But like I'd rather help other people achieve their goals.
That's
too.
awesome.
So
so when did you specifically get into pickleball? Like
before it was cool.
Yeah.
So
it's cool now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got in.
What's the year you think it might have not been cool?
So it didn't start getting cool until about 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020 COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I started in 2014. So 11 years now.
Wow.
And it wasn't cool. Like it was like, oh, you're playing the old person sport, even though pickleball's been around since 1965.
Yeah.
15 years ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't. It was a old person sport.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I'm sure the paddles have changed since then.
Technology's changed. The type of play has changed.
Yeah.
The social part of pickleball's changed. Kind of work for the worse on the social side, but as far as the competitive side and the money side, that's everything's changed.
Well, you definitely see money growing right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's definitely changed a lot in 11 years.
Yeah. So what got you into it?
It's funny is a coworker of mine, lady I went to church with and worked with doing accounting, is I actually saw her this weekend for Mother's Day, so I stopped by and gave her a hug, and we talked about. She was like, "Oh, you're doing well." I said, "Remember when I kept inviting you out to come play, and you said it's for old people, and you didn't want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm glad you invited me out finally, But like, we played at like this little. It was called the Georgia Taylor Senior Center. It's in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I was playing adult softball, adult basketball, adult soccer leagues, and I just kept getting hurt. I was like, shoulder, that's where some of my injuries come from now. It's like, and she kept saying, come play with me and my husband and daughter. And I was like, oh, your daughter plays too? Okay, all right. And first night got hooked. And you talking about people complaining about like courts and stuff. Like 11 years ago, you didn't really have any dedicated courts.
Oh yeah,
like just taped lines, right?
Taped lines. Yeah. It was either inside on a basketball court gym, or it was on a tennis court, taped lines, or you had to use the net. This was a senior center, so this was like a concrete floor with concrete walls. It was like a dance room /
Wow.
They played bridge in there. It was like a cafeteria. Like the concrete walls were like 2 feet from the court. No ATPs. There's no like outside shots, and you're hitting a wall. There'd be like 17 of us in one court.
Wow.
You play like 4 games in like 3 hours, but it was all social. Like it was literally, to tell you, my very first game was, I was 34, 35 at the time. A 71-year-old lady. She was mean she was a mean little, she was short and just mean, right? And as 85-year-old guy named Alan, and then this 13-year-old girl, my friend's daughter, Mary. And on the court, and the 71-year-old lady hits me with the ball. Nasty nails, like body bags me, right? And I'm just like, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna whoop you, like, and I couldn't do nothing about it, right? It was just like, oh, I love this sport.
Yeah.
What other sport you gonna get on the court or on the field with a 13-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 70 and 80-year-old?
Dude, exactly. That's what I love about pickleball.
Yeah.
It's like anybody walking up to the court, you have no idea how good or bad they are on appearance.
No, you
It's
can't
crazy.
judge by the book of the cover, right?
Yeah.
You can't look at you guys and be like, look at the hair. Like, like see some lady guys with like long pants on or like, crappy shoes or like.
Yeah, we judged on the paddle for a while because people had all these Amazon paddles, but that was before. Now, everybody's got a lot of people have it. But now you get these people that are actual athletes showing up with these Amazon paddles and they're just or they played tennis and they're just like, they don't care about the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're just there to drive the ball right at you.
Right.
And it's like, this is insane. Okay, I can't even judge them by this now. So you can't judge any book out there by the cover anymore.
Exactly. No. That's like going on a basketball court and seeing your old guy with jeans on and he puts 30 on you.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
That's how it goes.
How's that possible?
Dude, that's what makes the sport cool though.
Yeah.
So give me what is the proper term here? Do you like coach, instructor, teacher? What do we go with here? Because I feel like it's all interchangeable, but
it doesn't bother me. Some call me coach. Most people call me. I prefer coach, but just because of growing up coaching football, it's always Coach Ferg, Coach Ferger. You always go by your last name.
Yeah.
Coaching, Coach K. Even though I hate Duke, so never really cared for that.
But if you're the Coach K at pickleball, you're doing all right.
If you're the Coach K at pickleball, it's great. Teaching pro, professional coach, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter.
Okay.
As long as you're paying me, I don't care.
Hey, we said it'd be honest on here. Okay, we're getting it.
I feel like I've used all of those, so
yeah,
it's good to know they're interchangeable.
Yeah, someone might care about that, but
So, what got you into coaching or teaching pickleball?
I started playing, like I said, 11 years ago. I stopped playing all my other adult leagues because I love pickleball. Plus, I was working and I went back to school, got my degree when I was in my 30s, and so it was kind of time wise. I had to pick and choose which one. And then I played my very first tournament 6 months later. And back then there wasn't like it is now. There wasn't dupers. There wasn't pro. It was pros were basically open. It was called open.
Okay.
So it was you played 4-5 and then 5-0. 4-5 and 5-0s all kind of played together. And back then 5-0 was the highest.
But how did you have a rating?
You had a rating through the USA Pickleball Association, which is now, I think it's UPTR or something like the Universal Pickleball something, or UTPR. It's different than Duper. Sadly, they haven't merged.
Yeah.
But they had a rating system, but it was really only by 0.5. There wasn't a 3.523.
Okay.
It was just literally you were in a 3 point. It was 2 digits. It was 3.4, 3.1.
Okay.
But 4-5 and 5-0s was the highest. That's when, even before Ben Johns and them got in, 5-0 was the highest rated player. 5-5 maybe max was the highest.
Okay.
And so that really wasn't a thing. So when you played open divisions, it was 4-5, 5-0, and maybe someone like a Kyle Yates that had a 5-2 or 5-5 was the most. Kyle was the GOAT back before Ben and all those guys were the GOAT. So I played my first 4-5 tournament and got silver. Never met my partner until that morning. It's craziest stories. People complain about weather and courts. Again, we talk about the courts now. We're blessed to have outdoor courts, indoor courts, your community courts.
There's just a whole lot of ways to play.
There's a whole lot of ways to play.
It's very
now.
available.
You can't you can go to a public, you can go to a private, to a business. You can go to your neighborhood. You can go wherever you want and play. Back then, we had the tape lines on tennis courts. Everybody brings portable nets, tape lines, and that's how you had to have a tournament outdoor. And first tournament was 25-mile-per-hour winds. It was so bad. We lost our very first game, and that was back before when you can lose. It was a true double elimination and come all the way back around and then play for gold, right?
Yeah.
And so me and my partner met him that 15 minutes before our first match. Young kid, went to college. and we lost our first match, and it went in like 8 straight games, and then got the gold medal, and we beat the team in 3 games. But that was their first loss because they came from the winner's bracket. So then we had to play a game to 15 to win, like a tiebreak game. And nets were falling over in the wind. Like, it was so bad. Like, right, balls were a lot softer, so they weren't like they were now.
Okay.
You know, we weren't hitting a lot of ground strokes back then. Everything was drops, everything was dinks, and then we didn't really hit the ball hard until we actually like got to the net. So that the game's changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
And we are at like 14-12. And we missed we had like 6 chances to win. We'd hit drop shots that'd go over the net and like come back onto your own side. And we were playing these 2 older guys that were like the legends of like North, South Carolina, Virginia.
Yeah.
Like they were like the known around the area.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But
That is cool.
you know, then I got addicted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like 2 years in, I started helping other people play. And that's when I got my addiction to like, I'm just going to teach.
So it's
And
been how
then-
many years you've been teaching then? Like, not
Full time, I've been teaching 5.
but really it started before
About
that.
7, 8
Yeah.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so about 2, 3 years in, I started like coaching other people, and then I started doing like little clinics here and there,
Oh, nice.
and then doing little private lessons here and there, and then I like took it a little bit more full time in 2020
That's awesome.
when I moved down here. So
Yeah, the way you say like you got addicted to it and kind of gave up the other sports. Like I was crazy into disc golf during COVID. I got into it. You know what I mean? Because you could just go out, be away
yeah, I
from
know
people.
you told me you want to go play with me the other day.
Yeah, I do. I haven't played in like 4 or 5 months. It's crazy because now with my free time, I just want to go play pickleball.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing. I'm like kind of addicted to pickleball now, and kind of putting the other stuff to the side.
Yeah. You hear it all the time, man. People they played golf. Like one of my good friends I just was staying with this weekend in Greensboro, he was like a scratch golfer. He played golf every day at this country club that he was a member of and this and that. He was military. And then I got him hooked into pickleball, taught him. Then he became a coach running pickleball stuff up in North Carolina.
Nice.
And then he had an injury and now he's back playing golf and not playing but he's not playing as much pickleball just because of injuries more or so. But now he's back playing golf. And it's just like, dude, like he literally stopped playing golf like for 1.5 years straight. Like he played golf every day. And I was like, it's addiction, right?
That's why it's the
just
fastest
like,
growing sport.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. So
Once you pick that paddle up and you play, especially playing with people that you know, where you can have fun and you're body bagging each other and you're just messing around, it just gets the hooks in you. And it's it's over. I mean,
yeah. I mean, that's the way it was 11 years ago. Like literally we were out playing and we're just having so much fun. I mean, and you just knew it was going to be a fun time. Whether you won or lost, of course, you always want to win.
Yeah,
but it's like, whether you won or lost, you're out there having fun.
Mhm.
And that's what it was for like the first like 6 months to a year. It was like, I was just having fun, like enjoying it. And then it was like, okay, now we started taking it a little more serious. And then, but you still have fun. I mean, and you know, back then we tried to get as many people as we can to play.
Mhm.
Like nowadays, it's changed a little bit. Like, let's just go get our foursome.
Yeah.
You know, we already got our
Get some-
foursome. You know, I don't want
big
to play with
games.
nobody else.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like we invited as many people as we could.
Mhm.
You know,
Why-
the more the merrier, the better. You know, the better. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that's when disc golf grew too. But why do you think it grew so quick during COVID?
it grew because COVID. People didn't have things to do.
Yeah,
And then like you'd rather be outside, right, for
Yeah.
vitamin D and all that stuff. But pickleball is one of those sports where it was close, but it's far enough away. So the whole, you know, social distancing and bull crap, you know, like that was far enough away, and
where you could play.
you could still play, and like you never actually had to touch somebody if you didn't want to,
Mhm.
which. That's another story, but
Right.
you know, like that's why it grew. So then you have the younger generation. That's when it started growing, is because the younger generation said, let's go play with our parents. Let's go play with our grandparents.
Yeah,
Then people started getting them in neighborhoods. Like you'd had a neighbor, like I've taught a lot of people. They were like, yeah, how'd you learn? They were like, well, our neighbor put a court up in our circle,
hmm
Yeah.
and we'd go out and play during COVID.
yeah,
Like that's how they learned how to play. And it's like that's how it grew. And then just before you guys, when did you guys start? A year ago?
A little over a year ago.
It'll be 2 years for me in August. I started.
So like when the pickleball opened up, pretty much, or like right before it, or something.
A little bit before that, yeah.
I was right around then. Yeah.
He started a few months after me.
Right. So even when it blew in 2020, blew up, it was growing before then because social media and because it started becoming more tournaments.
Okay.
And then CBS Sports, the first tournament to really get pickleball growing was the U.S. Open in Florida.
Okay.
That started like in 2014, I think. And in I think 2016 or 2017, it got a contract with CBS Sports.
Okay.
To be on television, and then that's when you
People
started
see
seeing it more, and then it got on to like I think another channel too, but that's when it started growing. Like 2014, 2015, it started doing this, and then 2020 it said,
Yeah.
Yep.
Just blew up.
So kind of a perfect storm.
Yeah, it really was.
That's cool.
The bar to entry is just so much lower than tennis, where it's like you could go out there and even if there's 2 2.5s and 2 5.0s, you'll mix it up and you'll still have a great time.
Right.
And the 5.0s could take it easy.
Right. We'll play left-handed.
Yeah. Or like, here's a
something.
frying pan.
Yeah.
Have fun.
We'll play with a ping pong paddle or like a training paddle or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just the bar is so much lower and it's like, it's not as intimidating.
Right.
I think tennis is very intimidating to a lot of people that maybe they're athletic, but they're like, no.
Yeah.
And there's just, you got to train more for tennis.
No, you do.
Opinion.
Yeah.
So
I think you got to train nowadays. You got to train almost as hard for pro pickleball
Yeah.
as you do with tennis. Yes, tennis is a little bit more strenuous because it's a bigger racket, harder ball, and it's a little harder on the higher level. I think, but it's easier for people to get. I think everybody, if you have any sort of athleticism or sports background, you should be able to get to 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, to get better, that's when it starts taking.
Yeah.
The true athletes and the dedication and the practice and the less, the stuff like that. But it's harder to get good, just like all sports. But I think it's easier to get to above average in pickleball versus disc golf or tennis or golf.
Yeah.
I think those sports are hard.
Yeah. I mean, in disc golf, there's so much technique, but I feel like you said, once you get to that 4.0 level, that technique becomes really important. And we always think, I'm sure you would agree that if you get to that level and you want to start getting better, you got to go out and drill and do certain things like that, not just run into open play and doing the same old thing.
I think that's a good point because I think there's three types of. I think there's three things. I think I put a post of this the other day. There's three things that three types of pickleball players. Having a combination of all of them is going to get you to a higher level, but also keep the enjoyment. Like, you got to have your social there's people that just want to go out and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're playing with your neighbors, you can care less if you're keeping score. Like, you can care less if you win or lose. Like, it could be on some level of open play because you're just mixing and mingling with all levels.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that. Like, you got to enjoy pickleball. I mean, I talked to a pro that I trained not too long ago, and he was like, dude, I'm ready to quit because like I'm not having fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find a good partner, or I can't, whatever. I cannot hit a lull or whatever, a wall.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, you got to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just take everything so serious, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah,
you're going to burn out fast, right? Then you have the people who are only play competitive. Like, our foursome, we're going to I'm going to try to beat you every game. Then you have those guys that are getting real competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Or the people that think they're too good, but they're not that good, that they want to just go play competitive, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the people who also drill, take lessons, clinics, or just go drill with a ball machine or a friend. Mm-hmm. But I think you got to have all three of those
to keep moving up.
To keep moving up and to get good and to be able to still enjoy it and not get burnt out.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, we went out a few times and did some drilling and stuff like that. And the difference, even after just doing that once, like we went out and did some dinking and stuff like that. And I started to kind of understand, because it's the repetition of it.
Right.
And I really kind of realized how important it was. Because for me, it's like, I just want to go play because it's fun and competitive.
It is, yeah.
So to go drill, I'm always I'd rather just go play with my time. But when we started doing that for the one tournament we were going to enter, It didn't help, but
Well, you got a good win, so you got a couple good wins on there.
Well, we got a couple wins.
You got a
That was
couple
it.
wins, but you got a good win, so that's a good thing.
We're trying.
Yeah.
I mean, they were women, but it was a good win.
Yeah,
well, they're really good compared to us.
They're a lot
too.
better than you guys, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's a really good win.
Yeah, we were happy about that one.
The Inas.
Yeah, that was the only silver lining to that tournament, maybe.
I mean, it all depends on like what you want out of pickleball too. Like, if you only want to do it for fun and cardio and just to get out and move around and meet people, then don't take lessons and don't play competitive. Don't play a tournament. Don't play a round robin.
Yeah.
Who cares about duper? Who cares about your score? Just go enjoy it. But if you want to get good at tournaments, then you need to drill and take and then drill properly. Not just drill, if you take a lesson with me, like you guys have, and don't turn around and go put it into action, you're not going to do it in a tournament game.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go back to what's comfortable to you.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to do all of it. Like, you got to take a lesson, go drill for a while, play open play, and then be ready for competitive games.
Yeah, I will say, like, after the lesson, I went to open play, and I was like, I feel like
sucked.
I've never played before because I was
yeah.
trying to do the things I was supposed to, but I was so in my head, like, oh, I think it's this, that I'm like, next time we take a lesson, I'm going to go drill for, like, the whole week.
Yeah.
And
drilling's not as fun as playing, so people don't want to do it, but
They don't.
the payoff is there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
100%.
it is just like playing. What sports did you play?
I played baseball, basketball, football in high school.
Right?
No
and you
college.
played what? Disc golf? What else?
Well, I played football, I played ice hockey, I played basketball,
Right.
soccer.
All of those sports are fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's way more fun when you do good at it,
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Got to practice.
you got to practice. You got to figure out why you suck. You know,
Still
like
trying to figure
you
it out.
got to figure it out. I've told you. I'm pretty sure I've told you a couple times. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't go shoot 500 free throws. But also too, if you're gonna go shoot 500 free throws, make sure there are 500 proper free throws.
Yeah.
You know, if you take a ball machine and go play pickleball and you go out and hit 100, most ball machines can carry up to 50 to 100 balls. If you go hit 50 crappy balls out of a ball machine, is that going to help you?
Yeah. No.
No.
I know from experience.
It's not going to help. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people don't understand. It's like, I hit balls all the time. Well, you're hitting them wrong.
Yeah.
Well, that was the biggest thing for us because I think, like I said before on here, is like if you're athletic, you could easily be a 3.5 and just be athletic, and you could do everything wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we can make this work. So we go to you thinking like, oh, I'll learn how to flick. I'm going to learn how to do all this advanced
the
stuff.
hard stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And then
hey,
you're
you
like,
gotta
well, wait, hold on. Everything's a mess.
The tricky
Let's
stuff.
start
Right.
from square one here.
You got to start over.
And you have to be willing, if you're going to take lessons, you already know that going in. Like, there's going to be some problems. There's going to be more problems than you could ever imagine. I can tell you
For
that.
sure.
true.
I mean, my first tournament, that's a good example. Like, I was 35. I was still pretty good in shape. It was pre-neck surgery. But, like, it was me and a college kid against all these older guys, right? We lost in the gold medal match to some veteran pickleball players. Our athleticism only got us so far. And so that was the same thing with me. I played pickleball for the first year or so just off of just true athleticism. I wasn't playing pickleball. I mean, I was learning pickleball from people, but I was playing pickleball, but I wasn't playing with proper technique. I was holding the paddle weird.
Yeah.
I'm running around, hitting balls, whatever. And then I drilled, went down to Florida to drill with Kyle Yates. And that's when I was like, okay, I got to start playing. He helped me with like technique and helped me with some shots and learning pickleball. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, now I see what drilling and what learning pickleball becomes.
Well,
and so
what I noticed, a big thing I noticed that I didn't really think about before when we took the lessons with you, and it was the same like kind of when you're learning basketball, like defense and all that stuff, is like how to be fluent on the court, like knowing where you should be, or like how to anticipate the shot, or things like that. Because I noticed like when we were doing lessons with you, you were like, no, you got to slide over here, you got to go over here. I think I was just kind of hitting and standing still and then waiting and then reacting.
Right.
So I think that helped a lot for me to put it in my brain, like to kind of try to be more in the spot I need to be in and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think like people wait to move into position when they react to the ball. Like, you take a basketball, for instance, like you want to cut off lanes. right? Soccer, you want to cut off the lanes, or you want to create a lane for your teammate, right? Baseball, you want to understand this. The right-handed batter, or pull, right? Like you got to understand where the ball is coming from. Football, right? You got to understand if he runs a route, or if I'm playing this type of defense, I want to be on the inside or I want to be on the outside, right? So that's what I try to like tell people is like, and you get to the higher level where you start playing, like it makes it easier when you're in the right position. Court positioning the court's only 20 by 44. It doesn't seem big. It's not that big, but it's bigger when you're out of position. Yeah. So, so like if you don't move with your partner in doubles, you start creating these gaps.
Yeah.
Now you're overextending your body to try to get to a ball when you should have already been there, based on where you hit the ball or based on where the ball was.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's like one of the big takeaways for me, and something I'm definitely working on now. But what would I mean? I'm sure that's one of the mistakes. But what do you see? Like, what's the biggest mistake you see for someone that's like a 3.5 and under?
The biggest, I mean, footwork is probably the biggest mistake. Footwork is a lack.
Okay.
Footwork and paddle position, I think, are the two things that people just don't know what to do with, or their footwork they're lazy. They think it's an easy sport.
Yeah.
And we just reach for the ball, right? I think footwork's a huge thing. I think the paddle position, not being in ready position, people are trying to use our athleticism. We think we could just, have our paddle wherever we want and then get to a ball. Right?
Yeah, we didn't have any of those problems.
No, we still don't.
We can go back to the videos. I mean,
those videos
they have videos. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could look right now back on the video.
It was disgusting to edit.
It really was, right? You don't even want to watch yourself on the thing.
I'm just glad you still got the fire for teaching after that.
Oh,
right?
I know. I think I cussed more in that session, and I'm glad you guys edited all that.
Yeah,
out.
Of course. We're gonna mic you next time, though. The people need to hear it.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you can mic me. I'm gonna have to figure out some non-cursing words that are that when I'm cursing.
No.
No, it's funny, but no, I think that's huge. I think people especially at the lower level is people they think that they want to adapt to your game instead of playing their game. And I think that hurts people a lot, especially at the level as they're trying to get better. Like you want to play your style game, right? And stop worrying about the other person's game. I don't want to hit too hard because I'm playing with a 70-year-old lady over there.
I know someone that affects strongly.
They're my kryptonite.
Yeah, just play your game. That'll either keep them away from playing with you if they're not good enough. But you're not doing them any favor.
Yeah.
Go play your game to get better. Who cares who's on the other side? Who cares if, talk to your partner, but if you're playing together like you guys always do, encourage people to play their game. I'm hopefully helping you to do better at it, but at least play your game. Stop worrying about somebody else's game.
Yeah, I definitely struggle with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to play down in this sport, to play to someone's level. If you don't want to play with someone or you're whatever, go beat them 11-0. And then they won't want to play no more.
I mean, it sounds cutthroat, but, at some point, I think we talked about this with Jake, at some point you kind of have to watch who you play with.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to grow if you keep dropping levels. And it's great to play with your friends that maybe have never played before.
Right.
But at some point you're I'm taking this a little more serious now. I got to only play with certain players that almost always are better than you because that's how you get better.
Right, but you also don't want to force yourself upon the better players either.
No,
right.
No.
So if you get that opportunity to play with better players, one, don't say sorry that much, because they know that you're not as good, but also just do your part, but don't try extra hard. Right? And if you get 4, 5, 6 points against them or with them, then they'll be okay, next time, and work on just doing, cutting down the unforced errors. But just do your game. They know you're coming up, but don't force yourself to play with them either.
Yeah.
I think that's a big pet peeve of mine. One of many pet peeves in pickleball, but don't force yourself. And if I invite you to come over and play, or if you ask me to play, if you ask a better player to play with you, you better hit them the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Don't
course.
play keep away
Yeah.
because that will not get you another game.
But that also goes back to at rec play. If you want to get better,
Hit the better player.
hit to the better player.
Correct, yeah.
It doesn't mean you don't hit to the other person, but you're hitting to the better player. These people that go to rec play and they want to bully the person that's just starting,
Just to win.
Right.
Yeah.
drives me crazy.
Oh, it's huge.
It's
It's
just
like-
so silly.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, I
It's
beat Keith or I beat Jake.
It's the same as calling out balls when they're not out.
Right.
It's like this is rec play.
It's rec play.
We're either here to have fun or get better. Those are
Right.
the two things.
Right.
And you're not having fun or
Yeah.
getting better doing
No,
that.
and the better player is not gonna have fun,
Right.
Yeah.
and then you're not gonna get better because if I hit it to you and you miss it every time, but I hit it to Frank and he gets it back, I got to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit it to the better player, you're gonna get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't force it to the better, just like you don't force a ball. Period. To any
Mhm.
person, you hit what's called for, right? I teach
Yeah.
you guys that. Like,
Yeah.
don't force the ball to Frank because he sucks when I should hit it to
When the right hit is
the right hit to you, right? So like, but yeah, especially in rec play.
Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah,
of good
that's-
points for the 3-5. But what I know you said you teach some pros and stuff, like what do you see on like the 5-0 level that's their biggest thing to like, or is it just like
The consistency
Yeah.
and trying consistency at each level to get from one to the other is consistency, and then adding other shots to your repertoire. I touched you guys before too. Is like I really focus on the word control, right? So like I want you to be in control. Like I'm not going to tell you not to be aggressive as long as you're in control. I won't tell you to keep going soft. You
Mhm.
do whatever the heck you want. I'm a very creative player, but I just be in control, like, or understand the repercussions of what you're going to do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I still see it even at the lower 5-0 level. I still see people don't have a true strategy. It's crazy because they're really with athleticism,
Mhm.
or they have a high level background in tennis, and they come in, they're high level, they're 4-5, 5-0, like off the get go, and they're just hit the ball hard and they just play it, and they have great hands, but they have no strategy as far as why they're hitting what they're hitting.
Okay.
Until you get to that a little bit higher of a 5-0, then people start really paying attention to like. That's what makes a difference between a 5-0, a 5-5, a 6-0, 6-5, and all that is like, what are you talking about? Like anticipating, knowing why
Yeah.
you're doing what you're doing. So you can play your game, you can be creative, you could be whatever, but just know why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think control or consistency itself is, I think, one of the biggest
Oh, yeah.
things to have. And just like in disc golf, it's
Yeah.
like I can go out and throw 500 feet,
I wish I could.
but then then there's someone that can throw 300 feet and they might beat me because they're consistent. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whereas like you might be able to smash a drive, but if you're not a consistent player, you're not gonna keep progressing and
Right.
winning.
And a lot of times it's because people panic, especially at the 3-5 level, 3-5, 3-0, 4, even at the 4-0 level. Majority of people I teach are 3-5 and above. I mean, I teach some beginners and some newbies and some people that just aren't quite there.
Yeah, I know a couple of them.
I'm
in this room.
talking to them right now, but like, I just lost my train of thought while I was going.
Way up
But like, I think even at the higher level, people they panic instead of staying under control, right? One of the best tips I learned when I was starting out down in Florida with these old people up in the villages, like one guy told me, he was like, dude, you have more time than you think, right? It's a plastic wiffle ball with holes, and it's coming quick, but it's still got to bounce. It's still got to like slow down. It's not like a tennis ball or basketball or baseball. It's like you have more time than you think. And if we can relax our body and our mind, it makes everything so much easier. I mean, even at the level we play at, it's like, I mean, Jake told you last time, that mental game is strong. And if you can relax your body, things just become so much easier. I mean, same thing with disc golf.
Yeah.
If your body's relaxed,
Yeah. You're
you
gonna
can throw a farther disc.
exactly. Yeah, you'll definitely
or straighter at least, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely technique's definitely a big thing, and control. And I think you said that when we were in our lessons, like, hey, you have more time than you think.
You really do.
And I was like, that's so true, because I have a tendency to just tense my whole body up and kind of just like react at the last second instead of, breathe, control, and like understand that.
I mean, there's not a sport out there that you can play if you're super tense.
Yeah.
There's not.
Yeah.
Baseball, football.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you have to be relaxed. Boxing, like I knew we did a demo on, I did a thing on your on your lesson, right? Square them up, right? Like if you're so tense, it's not going to be good,
right?
Like that's where people get hurt. So
yeah, I think to spin off of that, since we were talking about the mental game, what's the go-to strategy for staying mentally sharp? You're in a long rally. That's my kryptonite. I could dink with you. It's like we get to like 5, and I'm like, I gotta speed up,
right?
Or I gotta like do something. Like I can't.
Right.
I'm so like I'm trying to end the point where it's like I think you said like the point's never over.
No, it's not over. That's the biggest thing, and that's why I tell people all the time. It's like you gotta stop hitting winners or thinking you're hitting winner. Like that ball is like the 3 things I tell you guys. Like the ball is always coming to me. It's always coming fast, and it's always coming back. So like, stop trying to hit winners. It's like it's not. You're not hitting a home run every freaking swing at bat. Like hit a grounder, hit an opposite field, blooper, hit a line drive, hit a bunt the ball. Like it's always coming back. The point's never alive. I mean, it's never dead. Like it's always coming back, and just keep it in mind, and then enjoy the point, but let it go. That's the hardest thing. That was the easy shot. Why'd I miss it? Okay, next point.
Yeah, you just gotta flush it and move on.
Yeah,
because
you got to.
I mean, if you start thinking about previous points, then it's just gonna eat you alive.
And I'm definitely one of those guys. So, I will let a point bother me for a couple points, and I'm like, okay, Keith, get out of this. You gotta. It's because it's such an easy and fun sport. You're like, I should have hit that shot. Like that was an easy shot. How'd I miss it? Okay, well, let it go and hit the next shot. And next it's 6-0, and you're like, crap. Right. I gotta get back in this.
Was there something you do that you're like gives me a reset?
Timeouts are like huge.
That's what Jake said too.
Timeouts are huge.
Jake recommended breaking paddles.
Breaking paddles. I've done a few of those. Jake's done a few of those. I've had the technical warnings and all that stuff. I don't recommend throwing paddles.
Timeouts
are the best. Gotcha. Go take a sip of something. Go wipe off. Hopefully you have a good enough partner. I think partner communications. I think a good partner will help you with that. Like if you suck at the mental game, well, hopefully you both don't suck at it. Then hopefully you can help him.
Well, we always encourage each other, but we both suck at it. Yeah.
My mental game is pretty bad. Yeah.
So even if you both suck at it, you got to still encourage the other
100%.
person.
Yeah.
Hey man, let it go. It's all, next point.
Well, I think that's the best part of us playing together is like, we're both like, we are serious about it, but we're not like, this is still pickleball.
Right.
Yeah. We're not like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you again.
Right.
We're canceling the podcast because I tried to hit a runner line and blew it 3 times.
That's why spouses don't do too well.
Well, we've talked about that too. And that's
why playing with your spouse is.
My wife's been talking about wanting to play again. I was like, I was sure about that?
I was just telling Carl's wife, you got to play. No, don't play with Carl. No,
I said I'm all for you playing. Just play with other people.
Right.
Play in your own world, in your own bubble. But once you come into mine, it's like it's just not going to go well.
I have played with a couple couples in my 11 years that can do it.
Yeah.
And it's like love. Now, if you do play with a spouse, or even when you play a friend, here's a good tip for people that are wanting to play tournaments. Other people are watching. So if you're playing with someone you don't truly care for in rec play or a tournament play, if you're trying to find another partner later on, your partner could be watching.
Oh yeah.
If he sees the way you treated him on that game, they're not going to be your partner.
Right.
Right. And so one of the things that I had this one couple tell me, this older couple, I love them. They told me that every time they ended a point, good or bad, they always turned to the middle and faced each other, tap paddles, and walk to the back.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is turn the opposite way from your partner that just made the mistake. Roll your eyes, duck your head, and then walk to the back. They don't know what. You can be not saying nothing.
Right. You could have been thinking about a point.
You could have been thinking about, you know, the hot girl over there. You could have been thinking about your wife over there. You could have been thinking about tomorrow. They think you're cussing them.
Yeah.
They think you're rolling your eyes at them. But if you roll your eyes and it's away from the head, your next partner over here is like, dang, he just rolled his eyes at him. He just blamed him. Yeah. So I think that's huge in
That's
pickleball.
a great tip.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the higher level too, because I mean, no matter what level you're at, you're both the same level, right? Yeah. You're not playing together if you're not somewhat close to each other, right? You're gonna make a mistake. You're gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna make a mistake. My partner's gonna make a mistake.
And some days you have it, and some days you don't.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, that's just how it goes.
So, but that's
a really good tip, because I definitely see some of these open plays and stuff. You'll see some of the people that people avoid being their partner even at open play.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely.
Well, I mean, it's probably a good thing on some things, but don't, you know, like if you just have a bad blood with somebody, but like don't do it, you know, because you don't think they're as good or whatever. But like if you don't truly get along with somebody on the court, don't get on the court with them.
Yeah.
You know, or just go out there and look in the La La Land or something.
So me and Corey, me and my brother should never play on the same team.
No,
that is factual.
I wouldn't recommend twins. But just ask Jake and Luke.
Hey, he said they get along really well.
They do get along really well. They're actually playing today, so hopefully they.
Well, good luck. Good luck, guys. Yeah.
They do really well together. There's fun though.
Yeah.
I love to get one of them mad at each other. Like you like get one of them like not playing or missing some shots, and they start like yapping at each other. Oh, it's so fun. The same thing with like couples, like especially like if the female is better than the male, like make him make a mistake early. Oh, it's on.
We're here for the entertainment.
That's the best part. That's the best part. Now you just won right there.
We should get Jake and Luke on here.
Well, we told Luke he was going to be on. We didn't ask him yet. We just told him on the podcast.
Yeah, I heard that.
No chance that he watched it.
Yeah, no.
He was like, my brother's on this? I'm not watching this.
He might
have. I gotta live with this guy.
He might have.
Yeah.
No, they get along really well.
I have not met his brothers.
You haven't?
But at some point, I think it would be
You
cool.
may have seen him thinking it was Jake. Yeah. I mean, they used to look almost like Colin, but now Luke is a little bit bigger. Because he works out a little more than Jake does.
Don't hurt Jake's feelings.
Hey, Jake said he's getting there, though.
Jake is getting there, but like Luke's shoulders look like some sort of like athletic, like I don't know where he got. I mean, his shoulders he's a lot wider than Jake is.
Okay.
I'm sending this clip to Jake.
Yeah,
this is the type of thing I send him. I'm watching, like he's about to go on, and I send him a clip right before he plays.
Yeah.
And he's just blasting every ball. This is great.
I think with identical twins, it's kind of like that though, because like my brother's definitely like bigger than me.
Dang.
In the stomach.
I'm gonna send this to Corey.
In the stomach and the shoulders.
I'm gonna send this to Corey.
But I'm catching up.
I think that's also, I guess this is another question for you, because you're dealing with so many types of personalities. How are you coaching? Like a couple comes and you're coaching them. Like my wife and I can't play together. That's science. We can't do it. But like, how are you coaching them differently? Or it doesn't even have to be a couple. It could be a couple of different people or just different people all around. How do you adapt the coaching style to fit the personality? What's the secret?
That's a good question. I'm usually myself no matter what.
I believe that.
Yeah. I am myself. I mean, that goes back to business days and all that stuff when I was working. Like, I've never changed who I am for where I'm at.
Okay.
I will tone it down. I will raise it up. I will, have a scale of it, but I'm always going to be myself.
Okay.
Right? Now, I do read the room, too. Like, have I always? No. I try to do better at it. I try to see, okay, this person doesn't like the sarcasm, or this person doesn't like me being too hard on them, right? Or this person doesn't really truly understand what I'm saying. I got to like break it down into like more elementary terms or something. And then you got the people who are like, you guys come as a lesson, like you might be better at some stuff, or you might be just better or whatever, further along, we do a clinic. I can tailor my lessons, clinics to each person. Because a lot of times if I'm feeding balls, it doesn't matter if you two are the same or not. Because, I'm watching you hit a ball and I'm feeding you a ball. I'm not worried about you two hitting balls back and forth to each other.
Okay.
So if you guys aren't on the same level, I will make sure I'm the feeder of balls. And that way, because if you can't keep a rally together, you're not going to be able to like really get better at a drill because one person isn't quite there. Right. So catering to different people's easy for me. I think it's a specialty of mine, to be honest with you. Like I did a clinic in Punta Cana, Dominican, was like 2 months ago.
I saw that.
Yeah, let us know next one.
Yeah,
we can work that into your budget.
And so that's fun. Which I want to do more of those, but like 25 people and just me. And you got to be able to cater to a lot of them. I think that came from me coaching high school football.
Oh yeah.
You got 60 kids on the team.
Yeah.
You got to be able to cater. Even if you're coaching only one or two positions, you still got 12 receivers. Mm-hmm. Not all of them are the same level. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say when we took our first lesson with you, I was really impressed with your ability to kind of break down what you needed us to do. And like, you kind of like explained it coming from like other sports or certain scenarios, whether you were squaring Frank up.
Or talking about a curtain, shutting a curtain
exactly.
or something.
That type of stuff was super helpful because like sometimes if you watch some of these YouTube videos and reviews and stuff, they're kind of like, you just do this and you do this. And you're like, okay, that looks easy enough. And then you go out to do it and you're like, I'm at a loss here. I felt like you were really good at breaking that down and kind of explaining it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was helpful for me, especially that curtain thing.
I mean, I've taught an 80-something-year-old lady one time, never played a sport in her life. No sports. Like she was a housewife and like, 80s. So she's, lived in the, 40s and 50s and 60s, right? Like she didn't play a sport in her life.
Wow.
So I had to like use analogies from like shutting a curtain, not letting something fall off the countertop, like I had to, because she had no background in sports. So you got to be, and the reason I did that is because like I learned that actually, man, like coaching football and stuff. But also when I went back to college as an adult, I had this one professor that he was really good. Like he was my accounting teacher and I didn't want to do accounting. Like I actually wasn't going in for an accounting. I was just going for business. And then I took his accounting class. And the first 2 weeks, I didn't understand jack. Like, I didn't know what, like, don't you know accounting and stuff?
I don't.
Or you don't know any accounting? No. But like, zero. Like, accounting can be difficult, but it's also very easy once it like clicks. So the first like 2 weeks, I told my mom, I was like, this, because she's an accountant. I was like, this sucks. Like, I can't figure it out. And then my professor had a good way of breaking it down in 2 or 3 different ways for this class to understand. And I was like, that is what makes a good professor, a good coach, a good teacher, because you might not understand it one way, but he does.
Yeah, break it down, make it easily digestible. Some people are going to understand different analogies or different ways that you do it, and I think that's what is important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why because I'm a visual and a listener. Like if I have to read it, I'm not going to learn it, right? So like I can show you, but I can also tell you. Some coaches out there could only show you, but they don't know how to explain it. Right. And it's like, I want you to hear it and see it, so.
Yeah, I definitely need all of that because I'm more of a visual learner as well.
I mean, how did you learn music?
Well, I taught myself music just by kind of listening and stuff like that. It wasn't really, I don't know a lot of technical stuff. Like I can play the piano, but I couldn't sit down and read music really well. You know what I mean? So it was all about kind of like,
but again, a listener and like see it or do or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I just watched Frank and now I know pickleball.
And that's why he's so bad. It all checks out now.
Brings to a point. Do you actually watch pro pickleball? I know y'all just did recently.
So I just started getting into it. The MLP just started like the end of April, and I kind of before that I would try to watch it, and it was hard for me to get into it. And but after watching that weekend, I was like, dude, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like I really like that aspect of the team aspect.
The MLP stuff.
Yeah.
Now don't watch it to try to be like them.
No, there's no chance.
Watch it to understand the game.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot of strategy.
You can learn a lot of strategy. You can learn some technique and why they did what they did by just watching. It might not be what you think they did, but you can look at it and be like, oh, he hit it hard because it was up here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he hit it soft because it was here. Oh, they backed up because, they went forward because.
Yeah.
That's how you watch pickleball. You don't watch it to be like, I want to be like Jake. First of all, you're not a lefty. You're not as strong as he is. You're not as fast as he is.
Yeah.
Right? You're not whatever. Like, so that's how I still watch pickleball the same way. Like, I watch my students for that way, and I watch other players play to see, okay, that's how you is how you coach, how you strategize. But I'm watching like, why was that a good point? Why was that a bad point? Well, Frank did this, so then he got pegged. It wasn't your fault. It was Frank's fault.
It's never my fault.
No, it's never your fault, right?
Rarely.
Rarely, right? Or Frank gets the glory because he hit an overhead winner.
Yeah.
But he set me
But
up.
who set you up?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why was that a good shot by you?
Yeah, at least say thanks.
Yeah, at least say thanks.
I give you plenty of opportunities to hit your slice overhead. You just won't do it.
I don't. I'm scared. Yeah, what I noticed from watching it too, like the pros and the MLP, is like how long the rallies are, and like you were saying earlier, like you get kind of like anxious when you're just keep dinking back and forth because I'm like, I'm gonna mess this up at some point. I got to do something. And I noticed like with the pros and stuff, like they just keep going and going and going and going until there is that opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like, sorry to cut you off, but that's what you're looking for is that opportunity. Like you're setting up. It's not just this shot. It's 3 shots down the road, right? This shot was because of 3 previous shots.
Which I feel like nobody at a 3-5 level was thinking.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because I watched another video before where it was like, you should know when you're serving, what are my options when this ball comes back?
Right.
I don't think like that.
Right.
Like I'm just thinking, I'm just being reactive.
Right.
Immediately. Okay, well the ball's here. I'm just driving every time.
Right.
Or, okay, today I'm just dropping everything. It's like there's no reason.
So what are your options?
Drive, drop. That's pretty much
What
it.
else?
I like this.
What else?
I don't know.
Where?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion. Depends where the person's at on the court.
Or if I'm able
or where
to
the ball is, or where you are. Right.
If I hit it and it's high, then I need to be back. I need to put my paddle down.
So it's not just like, are you hitting it hard or soft? It's like, am I hitting it here or am I hitting it here?
Sure.
Like,
placement is a big
placement over power, right? They always say that. But like, as soon as the ball leaves that paddle, your opponent's paddle, you should be able to be like, I'm hitting this out of the air or off the bounce. I'm hitting this hard. I'm hitting it soft. I'm hitting it back to the person, or I'm hitting it over there.
But as soon as we get up there, like I think of this stuff now, and then when we get into like a tournament, immediately it's like the Men in Black. They just zap me. I'm like, well, I'm back to just doing dumb things.
Well, you get like in the your feet get stuck. You're like, where do I go? And you think you're moving, but you're not. You're really just...
I'm like, why? At the end of the point, I'm like, why am I so bent over? Why am I not shuffling my feet?
Right.
Why did I cross my feet?
Right.
Like, I realize it after every time, but happening in the moment is like. Just...
And again, brings back to the point about footwork. You know, like it's so easy to get like this sport. It's crazy. It's like it's such a small court, but you can isolate one person so easily, right? And then what do? You get over there, you're like twiddling your thumbs and like, oh, you're gonna hit me the ball. They're gonna hit me the ball. And then you drop your paddle and you're like, oh my god. And then you're like, and next you know you get hit, right? Yeah. You get body bagged because you're not paying attention. And so like you should constantly be moving your feet while he's hitting the ball. Like don't get stuck. But we get in that point where we're in cement and we're like, okay, where do I go? They're not hitting me the ball. Yay. And then all of a sudden, boom. And then you don't know what to do with it.
I will say, even in the few lessons we took from you, that like just my knowledge of the gameplay and like being fluent on the court, like I was saying, has just jumped up so much more from where I was just kind of like thinking about these hits and stuff. I feel like the lessons just took it to another level where I definitely was plateauing, and I felt like I'm kind of back on that upswing.
See, and that's what I was talking about. That's what means more to me than anything, you know. And but just imagine if you did more lessons, how much further you'd be, you know. So
at some point,
you guys do one, and you don't see me for like 13 weeks,
man.
and you're like,
he's always out of town. I'm out of town.
I'm out of town again next weekend. Then I'm good till July, I think. So we're gonna come see you.
Yeah.
It's been craziness. There's a lot of things going on. We've been trying to get you on here for
I know.
like
I know. I can't believe you let Jake on before me. Love you, Jake. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Sometimes things just happen where he'll just message me and be like, "Want to record in 2 hours?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's
sure.
Like, something opens up, and I'm like, "Let's do it, man!" Because we really like, especially this time of year for me with the band and weddings and stuff like that. It's like I am busy. So it will kind of during the summer. I feel like Charleston kind of sinks down into that, like it's too hot to do anything, and that's when we're gonna shine.
You hate the heat.
I hate the heat, but that's when we're gonna come out and take lessons.
Oh, we can do early morning or late in the evening, you know.
Yeah.
So. Bugs are better in the morning. We can avoid that.
Yeah, but once it gets a little hotter, there's not the bugs aren't as bad.
Yeah, they're not. And I want to do those. I want to do some tutorial videos with you too, so the world can see.
Yeah, I'd love to.
They need to hear from you.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot of takes for us to do it.
It's going to take a lot of takes.
But it'll be great.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of takes.
If you want to see somebody...
I'm going to have to be on my best behavior for those.
If you just want to watch people just not pick something up quickly, these lessons are for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, dude, let's do some rapid fire questions, Frank.
Do you want to rapid fire them for us, Carl?
I'll try my best.
So that means I have to rapid answer?
It's kind of like,
it's just short questions.
One word answer, couple word answers.
This is like a test. This is what I wasn't good at.
Okay, well, me
like I wasn't good at, hurry up, you got 10 seconds to answer this question.
100%.
That was not
so
my
I'm the same way as you. So we're very chill here. So if there's one where you're just like, skip that. We don't care. Okay, this is like, this podcast is so poorly run, Keith.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're doing pretty good so far.
You're doing good.
This is a good day. Well, I haven't looked at this footage yet, but it probably stinks.
I think we did pretty good. I feel pretty good about it. Here we go.
So, Carl, hit us with some rapid fire for Keith. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. It's kind of like the end of Family Feud. You know what I mean?
I know. I suck at those.
I do too. Your brain just goes blank.
Yeah. It's like,
All right. So, right now we have Dink or Drive? Drive. I like it. What's your favorite paddle brand?
My favorite paddle brand is Gearbox, and that's who I've been sponsored by for about 6 years or so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I actually used one. I don't know the model of it the other day. A dude at Pickleball let me use it, and I loved it.
It's a different brand from all the other types of the technique.
Yeah.
The technology is totally different than all the ones you guys have tried. It is something that takes getting used to. It's like using, like baseball has those torpedo bats now versus like a regular bat. Like, it's a different technology and style. I love it. And they are actually coming out with some that are a little bit more towards the similarity of like the other kind, the thicker, like more of a traditional one, but their technology on the inside is totally different. It's not a honeycomb style.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I loved it. It was more of a control one, but I really, really liked it. All right. Worst shot to miss. Yeah. Like the high slam into the net.
Yeah, probably the overhead at the kitchen, not necessarily like in a transition zone. The worst shot for me is what I absolutely hate missing is a return of serve.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's, I think that's
just because it's like a free shot.
It is in a way, but it's like I mean, it's coming. It depends on how hard the serve is.
Yeah,
I mean, that can really,
true.
Like someone like Jake or someone that has like a really hard serve can really, change your return. But missing the easy return of serve is like the worst thing. But overheads is a lot of times at the kitchen. Is a lot of times just people just rush it, and if you miss this overhead, you're like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever.
Well, like you said, you got more time than you think.
You really do, yeah.
All right. Most overused phrase in pickleball.
get to the kitchen.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
That's a good one.
I hate when people say you got to hurry up and get to the kitchen. Yes, we want to try to get there, but it's not how fast.
Get there smart.
Get there smart. You got to earn your way. You got to get there. How and when is what I say all the time.
I love that. Pro you would love to rally with?
Rally with, or play with, or just hit with, or
Anything.
Man, I've played with a few of them. Nowadays it's changed. There's so many new people out there, but I've already my favorite person. No, who do I want to play with? Probably someone like that's this rapid fire question got me.
We can skip and come around.
I like Hayden Patrickman's game.
Okay, yeah.
So I would love to.
I feel like he's.
I'd love
crushing
to
it
go
right
up
now,
there
too.
and see how good my hands can be.
And he watches this.
Yeah,
obviously.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna
He
watch
comments on every video.
I like it, and Hayden's one of the guys that didn't come from I'm pretty sure he didn't come from a tennis background. So
Okay.
like he was a baseball player too. So like it's fun to see those type of guys
that is
do well.
cool.
Yeah.
Dream court location.
Dream court.
I didn't write these.
Location.
Where would you like to, if you could play pickleball anywhere? Like now they're doing it on yachts in Croatia,
Yeah.
like crazy stuff.
Hey, Brett's on a cruise right now?
He is, and he's cruising to Alaska, and they're
A lot
doing
of them,
tournament.
yeah, a lot of them are doing them on
Which
some of the bigger
Gotta be insane.
cruise ships. Windy as can be. Yeah.
Oh, he got canceled.
It got
today.
canceled.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
You're
Oh,
100% right.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Wind is bad. After I've taught in Kiowa Island. I've taught in North Carolina. I've taught in
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana, Dominican. I would love to if I can teach 6 months out of the year, good job, Carl.
Gosh.
God, there's always something. Probably in a Caribbean or island or something.
Yeah.
And just have a couple courts and teach for a couple 6 months out of the year. It'd be great.
Dude, that would be sick.
But I do love Charleston. Charleston's nice. Which was a little bit not as humid,
Mm-hmm.
but I do love teaching here. Charleston's a great little place.
Frank, why don't you take some of these rapid fires?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about favorite drill to teach.
Favorite drill to
What's your
teach?
go-to if we were gonna go play a tournament and it's we got say a half hour? What's the best thing, quickest thing that would benefit us the most, or multiple drills maybe?
Probably teaching what they call now is a drip.
Yeah.
Which is really just a drive drop, which is, I've been teaching it for years. It's really called a 30, 60, 90%. So it's really the 60%er.
Yeah.
It's kind of like like in baseball, you got a little, a slider or something that looks like a fastball. It's coming in and it's dipping quicker.
Got it.
That's probably my favorite shot.
Shot you secretly hate teaching.
Shot I secretly hate teaching. There isn't a shot that I don't like to teach. What the hardest I've seen people trying to do is figure out how to hit an overhead.
Yeah.
Really?
It's amazing how many people can't hit an overhead. I've even had some tennis players that can't hit an overhead.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Here's one that you'll like. Loudest player you've coached. I know you like putting people on blast, so this will be perfect.
The loudest player I've coached, besides me?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
is louder
I was
than
going to say,
me?
has there been anyone louder?
It may not exist.
The loudest player I've coached, honestly, you guys don't mind me saying the name?
I mean, do you mind saying it? It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's not me, so what do I care?
Oh, man.
You don't have to say
You can
the
skip
name.
the name. We don't need to say it.
The first name is Eddie.
Okay.
That's all.
Hey.
I'll call somebody out.
Shout out Eddie. I know him.
You do
Saw him
know
at
him.
Goose Creek the other day.
You
yeah.
do know him.
He's
yes.
such a nice dude, though. He's such a nice guy.
Oh, Eddie. Yes, that's the loudest dude.
That's
Cross
awesome.
quarter down the line.
Cross quarter down the line. I love to beat people down the line.
Yeah,
I
It's a
do.
good feeling.
I agree.
Whether it's a misdirect or whether it's a inside out or something like that, I love it. Yeah.
One word to describe bad line calls. This is another setup You're trying not to swear. I'm giving you these questions.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on, what am
that's
I
like
doing
you're
here?
trying to make me swear.
Yeah, our bleep button was stuck in the mail, so
Oh,
we didn't have it ready.
Speaking of swear, yeah, no, we're gonna talk about that. I don't know if the word is right, but like coward and cheater is it's straight up stupid.
Yeah.
Like to blatantly call a ball out that's in is just horrible.
Yeah, you're
So,
not doing yourself any favors.
You're not doing yourself. You're not doing anything. I mean, karma. It all comes back around. I mean, they always say the ball doesn't lie on the next
Very
spot.
true.
That's very true. I just think it's a poor sportsmanship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
One thing you wish players would stop doing outside of crash in the kitchen, because we covered that one. What's the other pet peeve that you see? They're like, stop doing that.
I truly don't like the fact that people try to flick everything, whether it's whether it's a ground stroke. I think people the wrist action is not a good thing for the majority of players. Like,
Yeah.
I think it definitely takes a full skill to have a wrist flick when it comes to like actual wrist flick shot, or like a flick shot. But like when you're using your wrist for everything, it would save so much time
Yeah,
on people's development.
that was one of my big problems. I noticed I was using the first thing you said pretty much the first lesson was like, stop using your wrist.
Yeah, there's a time and place for it, but it's more of an advanced shot for anything. And so I think that's just
No, I think that's a good one, because
Yeah.
and it's easier to watch even like a 4-5 player, and they're flicking it there, and you're like, oh, I could do that, and then you try and do it. It's like, this is way harder than I thought, and
Yeah.
now I'm just blowing points.
Yeah.
It's
I think the
just-
other thing though is, I know you said one, but I think the other thing is people do is too much is jumping around too much. Instead of just moving, people are jumping way too much. I see it all the time.
I've noticed that a lot too.
Yeah.
I've noticed I played the other day and a dude was really good at dropping, but he did kind of a little
A jump
every
every
time
time.
he
Yeah, that one leg jump.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but
Yeah.
people do seem to like
Yeah.
that.
And they
Well-
do it when they're at the kitchen. They do it when they're at the transition zone. They do it like just for like no point. Like there's no reason
yeah.
to be doing some of those stuff. Like now, if the ball jumps and you jump up to
Yeah.
hit it, like that's different. But like again, you have more time than you think.
yeah, exactly.
All right, last one. One word to describe your coaching style.
I can't do one word.
No,
I can't do one
All
word.
right, give us the rundown.
You give me one word.
Direct.
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 But
yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
That's just, we're not messing around here. I want you to tell me. Like, just tell me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing this wrong.
yeah.
Let's fix it.
Yeah.
Passionate. It's
100%.
probably- Passionate is
Passion
one
is
word.
huge.
Passion is one word.
And I think passion could get lost if somebody's just watching you, even teach us, and you're yelling at us, and it's like, oh, this guy's kind of,
Right.
like he's just kind of rude. But the yelling comes from the passion.
I wouldn't
'Cause you
yell
want
if you did
us-
what I said the first 5 times.
There is that. and we don't do that. But also, you want us to succeed. So
Right.
there's passion behind that, or you wouldn't do it.
I will
That's the
never
thing,
be, man, guys, that's a good question. Like, not to take so long, but like when I first started coaching like full time, and even when I coached high school football, it's the same thing. I will never be that foo-foo. Good job, Carl. Good job. Frank, that was good. You hitting the net 15 times in a row, but you're doing good. Like, that'll never be my style.
Yep.
Like, I don't give credit for a miss hit.
Yeah.
Like, you get excited. Great. Okay, good job. You got lucky. Go back to the next point. Like, I will like applaud you when necessary. Like, if you just hit a standard dink and you should be able to dink, I'm not going to be like, great job. Like, if you hit an amazing shot or a great dink, good job, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Frank.
Yep.
But like, if you're doing something basic and you can do that you should be able to do that, right? But I'm never going to be that foo-foo guy that's like, good job, you're hitting the ball 15 times in the net, you're doing good. No.
Yeah. I noticed that, man, with your teaching. It's like, I can tell you want us to get better.
Yeah,
You want us to learn.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it for a living if I
I think
Didn't.
I think those people exist though,
they
man.
do exist.
Like
And
going
there's
through the
some here
motions. Yeah.
in the low country that do that. And
Yeah.
It's just like, and the people that waste their money with them, I feel bad for them,
Yeah.
but like, I want you to succeed. Like I said, I'd rather see you succeed than me continue to play, like,
Yeah.
whatever. And I want my name to be, I want you to go out there and be like, yeah, I take lessons from Keith.
Yeah.
I want them to see that you take, I don't care what levels you're getting at,
Yeah.
but like, I want them to know that, like, I'm not teaching you bad habits, or I'm not teaching you, like,
well, that's
something bad.
That's what makes a good coach, a good teacher, is like that. Like, you want that person to succeed.
Right.
You're not just doing it to get past it, and move on.
I mean, I coached high school football, and I coached receivers that ended up going to college and DBs and stuff. And it's like that, that makes me feel good. I don't care if they ever like say my name, but like that feels good to know,
Yeah.
Like I said, I help guys get to the pro level, girls I still train some female pros now and some couple guys. Like that makes me feel good. I don't care less if you shout my name out later on, but if you tell me, I train with Keith or whatever, that would be a bonus, but like that just makes me feel good. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're doing it for the actual art of teaching.
Exactly. Like my name is behind your game.
Yeah.
So like if you're not doing it right, that's like, why?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to, if I'm charging you to do something, to learn, I want to make sure you do it right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Well, Keith, we appreciate your time today.
Hold on, Frank. We got to show what Keith brought.
Hold on. We got to get
forget.
You got to get the better one. There we go.
Show that to the camera.
Just hold that right up here. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's best over here. Maybe it's best
Look at that.
Here.
Yeah.
That's staying up on display.
Right there. Yeah. That's it. I mean.
Then we got the Frank and Carl.
These are just too good. I mean, what are we doing here?
Actually, they're kind of fitting too. the electric Carl and the flattened Frank.
Great. You think I'm
how many times?
Unbelievable.
How many times did Carl hit you with his own paddle? Like that?
Well, that does happen a fair amount.
How many times you been hit with the ball, Frank?
Well, not as many as Carl, actually, because I've set him up quite a few times.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those are incredible, though.
Yes, thanks for the gifts, Keith. We should have known they would be special.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to give you a chance to promote yourself. So let's talk about how people can find you. What's the best way if they want to reach out to you and get a lesson?
Ferger Burgers, pickleball on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook.
Yep.
I also have, and on there you can kind of get my link. I have also teach in Park Circle at BLPC, which is called Backlot Pickleball Club. There's no signs up or nothing officially yet, but we are doing a second court now, so we'll be having some opportunities there.
Nice.
So
yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So we're in Park Circle, right next to Holy City Brewing. And we'll have two courts, and we actually have a third court that's in the bay. So if it gets rained out, or while you're waiting on your court, you can warm up and play.
Oh, nice.
You can do lessons. We're gonna have round robins. We'll have possibly a league or something going on. You can come rent courts and bring your own food. We'll have a bay for like lounge area. You can TV, couch, bring your food. Holy City Brewing's right there, so you're gonna have connections with Holy City Brewing. There's a lot of food in Park Circle. Barnyard Chicken. There's a lot of good food right around.
This place is like turn on the street to go to Holy City, and before if you just look on your left, it's sitting right back.
Private courts, so it's not like it's really advertised, nothing like that. So we'll have a sign out there once the courts are done, and then once the second court is done, and then we'll have a way for people to like reserve courts and sign up for clinics and all that stuff too.
Potentially, maybe as soon as end of next month.
I'm guessing they're in the process of doing the painting now, weather permitting. So like the painting could be done the next week or so. But I'm guessing probably by June.
Okay.
The courts will be available to reserve at least one at all times, and then while I'm teaching, or if I'm not teaching, then there'll be two courts available to rent.
Nice.
It'll be a great little place for like. It's private. You don't got to worry about 10 other courts, 8 other courts playing. You can come reserve the 2 courts and then go have drinks, or have drinks there, have food there, or go next door to Holy City. You can go to anywhere else in Park Circle, and it's more of a low key, but you'll be private. Like it's nice.
Yeah. Go
Good
disc
courts.
golf. Go get some
disc golf.
drinks, some food. Go play some pickleball.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you're coaching. You'll coach groups too, right? So
I do
there's
groups.
You'll keep pretty much nobody that you won't coach.
No way I won't coach.
Want to clarify that. You're open.
Beginners, intermediate. I prefer the 3.5 and above, but I teach beginners now. I teach all levels, all ages, all mornings, afternoons, evenings. Evenings are a little bit more limited, of course, than mornings and afternoons.
Mhm.
I'll be offering like clinics, like 4 and 8 person clinics. And then stuff like that. Yeah. You can come with twosome, you can come with 3 people, you can come with 4 people, you can come with however many you want.
Right.
Set it up, schedule it with me, and you get it going.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're gonna schedule our next lesson here soon too.
As soon as this month's just chaos, but this month, once we get through it, June, we'll start.
Yeah, that's what they said
You'll
about
be
the
seen.
podcast.
Most of this traveling I don't even want to do.
Yeah,
Here we are.
yeah.
I sign myself up for things.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. It'll be
Carl,
good.
anything else that we're missing? I think we've covered everything, right?
Yeah.
It's been a great episode. It's been a long one, but hey,
Yeah. If you want some good clothing,
shout out.
Pickleballer is I was like their very first sponsored player about 6 years ago. They're out of Virginia.
You got the shirt on.
I got the shirt on. One more game. They have shirts like this that
nice.
says different stuff. It's pickleballershop.com. And you can use the discount code Ferger15.
Okay.
Ferger.
Yeah, we'll put it on the
15.
We'll put that on the screen. Yeah.
And the clothing's great, man. The clothing, like they have this type of material with cotton, and then they also have polyester and different type women's, kids.
Yeah, I've seen a good amount of people wearing it around
Yeah.
At these open plays
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
It's a great. I mean, it's a cool little logo, and but yeah, they're awesome. Good people. So
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, this was a great episode, Keith. Thank you for coming
Enjoyed
on.
it, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you.
for dealing with us. Obviously, we're far from over. You got plenty of work to do.
Yeah.
So, we fill that 2.75
Yeah.
gap for you real
Well,
nicely.
the next tournament you guys are gonna do, you're gonna do better than 2 wins,
Well, that's facts.
and you'll be at that 7.5 thing very fast
Well,
combined for the dupers and all that. But
I hope so.
you guys will be there. You guys can get to 4-0. Your goal was to get to 4-0 by fall.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Once we can finally start
Yeah.
playing again.
Yeah, we
Right
can
now,
do it.
we're like once every 2 weeks. You're not going to
Yeah,
do
it's
much
not
good
good.
enough.
Well, it's like me. I play like once every 2 to 3 months, and I
Right.
go out there and I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I hate this fuck. But it's like I can't expect to do good every time because I don't play every day.
Yeah.
So like it's, but it's fun. It's enjoyable.
It is fun. It is.
That's
fun.
our goal. Get you there 4.0. You'll be there by the end of fall.
Let's do
Or
it.
fall.
You heard it here.
You heard it here. I mean, all right. That is episode 7 of Unforced Errors. Thanks for stopping by and listening to us ramble on and borrow Keith for an hour and a half now. Poor guy hasn't even eaten dinner. So
I know.
we're going to let him
They're
go.
buying pizza.
We're going to go. And we appreciate you tuning in. If you want to like and subscribe, that helps us a whole bunch. Unforced Errors PB everywhere, and we are streaming everywhere. So until then, we will catch you whenever episode 8 launches. See ya.